Leading our top 4 at 4 this afternoon, the UB community is mourning the loss of a beloved professor. Ellen Volpe was killed in a crash on the thruway in Lancaster. Volpe was from Rochester, but was a professor at UB School of Nursing. She was with the school for 4 years. Her specialty was treating teens who were suffering from PTSD. Volpe was married with 2 kids. Her colleagues at UB call her genuine, energetic, and lovely. The woman who hired Volpe called her a nurse first.
I think when you got to know Ellen, you first of all noticed her smile. She had a wonderful, ready smile, a great laugh. She was really a good citizen of the school. She worked to help. One of our goals at the school is to have a really inclusive, respectful environment and a culture. And Ellen was really a champion of that.
Well, Volpe's car was hit from behind by a box truck just yesterday morning. Meanwhile, Buffalo police are looking for the gunman in a shooting on the east side. Now, police say a man was shot in the leg on the 100 block of Shuley Avenue a little after 9 a.m. He was taken to ECMC, but his injuries are not life-threatening. Police do not have a suspect just yet. And a man accused of driving drunk and hitting 3 people on New Year's Day is back in court. 31-year-old Abdulkadir Jafar is facing several charges, including aggravated vehicular assault. Authorities say Jafar was driving drunk when he hit a pole, then drove up on a curb, seriously hurting 3 pedestrians. Now, this all happened on Richmond Avenue in Buffalo. Jafar has pleaded not guilty to the charges. We have a crew in the courtroom, and we'll have more on what happened tonight at 5.
I just think about my family and how I want to see everybody grow up.
Fighting for her life, a Depew wife and mother is battling a rare form of leukemia. She's relying on a bone marrow transplant to help her beat this disease. The problem, finding a match isn't easy. Nora DeVero, a respiratory therapist at Mercy Hospital, is using her struggle to convince people how important marrow donation is, in the hopes her story could help save lives, maybe her own. News 4's Jen Shantz joins us with the story. Jen?
Well, Marissa, Nora DeVero is a busy mother and a grandmother. Getting her diagnosis this winter put her entire life on hold. She's now going through chemo and taking life one day at a time. But she needs a bone marrow transplant. She's been getting treatment at Roswell, and her quest to find a match has sparked somewhat of a movement. Nora Strong has become more than just a hashtag. It's become a motto for Nora's doctors, nurses, fellow patients, and her friends. The entire community of Lancaster and Depew has gotten involved, spreading the word about the importance of marrow donations. Generally, doctors start with trying to match people with their siblings. Nora has a sister, but because she has a rare form of leukemia, acute myeloid leukemia, or AML, she needs blood products regularly to keep her strength up. Because of this, she developed antibodies against her sister and her kids, who were half matches. So Nora was back to square one. We spoke to her and her husband, who both, despite being in the medical field themselves, had little idea that the process in finding a donor would be this challenging.
Everything is on hold. Your whole life is on hold because, you know, you have to get this transplant. You have to get better.
When we got told that they had to find the bone marrow donor, I guess we just assumed that it would be, oh yeah, there's going to be plenty of donors out there, and we'll have several people to choose from. And then they came back and they told us, you know, we found one.
The DeVeros aren't just getting the word out. They hosted an event last Friday where they actually had people swab the insides of their cheeks to send the samples into the National Marrow Donor Program. That's how you start the process. They didn't do this just for Nora, who has one prospective donor at the moment. They did it, they say, to help other families going through the same thing. The more donors out there, the more lives could be saved. At 5:30, hear from the transplant coordinator who works with Nora and a lot of other patients at Roswell on why finding a donor can be such a challenge, plus how you can help. For now, live in the newsroom, Jen Shantz, News 4 at 4:30.
Jen, thank you so much. Well, a little more than an hour ago, President Trump answered questions about former FBI Director James Comey's testimony on Capitol Hill. The president calling Comey a leaker and said the hearing proved he did not obstruct justice. Scott McLean has more now on the president's White House news conference.